once again to UK Dynamics Media. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss the tools in Adobe Photoshop. We are going to start right from the tools that are found here up to the tools which are found here. In our previous tutorials, we covered the tools that are found from here up to here in our first part of our tutorials, and from here up to here in the part 2 of the tools in Adobe Photoshop respectively. And in the part 3, we are going to cover the tools that are found from here right up to here. So without wasting much time, let's get started. The first tool we are going to tackle is called the brush tool. The brush tool paints custom brush strokes. The brush tool paints custom brush strokes. So with my brush tool selected, I can brush over my image like that, or you can right click and then you can change the size of the brush here. You can control the hardness too, like that, to the one that best suits you, or you can change the brush. You can scroll down and choose the kind of brush at all that you want, like that. And if you want to change the color of the brush, you can come here and change the foreground color. Double click and choose any color that you want. Click OK, and you come here and brush over, and that color will be brushed for you like that. Basically, that's the use of the brush tool. Can press Ctrl Z to undo. Okay, the next tool is the pencil tool. Let me change my foreground color to default. That's the white. Okay, the next is the pencil tool. The pencil tool paints hard-edged brush strokes. The pencil tool paints hard-edged brush strokes. So what it means is that the pencil tool, just like the brush tool, but the pencil tool, it paints hard-edged. So the edge of the brush will be somehow hard. So let's start with our painting. As you can see, if I zoom in, you can see that the edge of the brush is somehow hard as compared to the brush tool. You can also right click, also change the size of your brush or the hardness, or choose the kind of brush that you want. Basically, that's the use of the pencil tool. It paints hard-edged brush strokes. And press Ctrl Z to undo. Now let's move to the next tool, the color replacement tool. The color replacement tool. I would like to change my image here. The color replacement tool paints the selected color over an existing color. The color replacement tool paints the selected color over an existing color. So assuming I want to paint a selected color over the color of the tie of the gentleman right here, I can sample or select the color by holding Alt, then sample the color, and I can come right here with the help of With the help of the color replacement tool, I can brush over the sample or the selected color over this existing color of the tile. Left click and drag over. Drag over like that, and it will paint the selected color over the existing color. We are going to paint or change the color of or replace the color of the tile with the help of the color replacement tool. As you can see, we have absolutely changed the color of the tie of that gentleman right here. Very nice and very interesting tool. Basically, that's the use of the color replacement tool. It paints the selected color over an existing color. So I can press Ctrl Z to undo, and then we are moving to the next tool. The next tool is the mixer brush tool. The mixer brush tool. I would like to change my image back to the YouTube logo. The mixer brush tool simulates real painting techniques such as blending colors and varying paint wetness. It simulates real painting techniques such as blending colors and varying paint wetness. So with the help of my mixer brush tool, if I decide to brush over by left clicking and dragging, let me change the foreground color to white to make it visible for you to see. So if I left click and I should brush over, you see that it is trying to mix the color of the white with the color of the logo. It's kind of blending them or mixing them together and making it wet. Some sort of wetness. It is also adding some sort of wetness to the blending. So basically, that's the use of the mixer brush tool. You can press Ctrl Z to undo. And then we are moving to the next tool. The next tool is the clone stamp tool. I would like to change my image. The clone stamp tool. The clone stamp tool paints with pixels from another part of the image. The clone stamp tool paints with pixels from another part of the image. So I can hold Alt and click on this, and it will sample the pixels for me. As you can see, it is giving us a preview of our selected pixel. So you can left click and drag over like that. Wow, very nice and interesting tool. It has just cloned the selected image for us. Pretty cool and pretty nice. That's the use of the clone stamp tool. It paints with pixels from another part of the image. So let's move to the next tool. The pattern stamp tool. The pattern stamp tool. The pattern stamp tool paints using a chosen pattern. It paints using a chosen pattern. So I can go right here and select any pattern here. You can select any of the patterns here but I want to choose this pattern right here. And I can come here. You can right click to play with the size. And also you can play with the hardness as you wish. So I can left click and drag over, and I can pin the face with the pattern selected. Just like that. Like that. So basically that's the use of the pattern stamp tool. It paints using a selected or a chosen pattern. Ctrl Z to undo. And let's move to the next tool. The next tool is the history brush tool. Our next tool is the history brush tool. The history brush tool restores parts of an image to an earlier state. The history brush tool restores parts of an image to an earlier state. So I zoom in, I go for my spot healing brush tool, right click to increase the size of the brush a bit, and I can come here, left click and drag over the head of my emboss right here, right click and drag over the head like that. And once I release, it will take off the head of my emboss like that. It has taken off the head of my emboss. So with the help of the history brush tool, I can restore the part of the image to the earlier state or to the previous state. So I can go and select my history brush tool, come left click and drag over that area, and as you can see, it is restoring the area for me. It has totally or completely restored that area for me with the help of the history brush tool. It's a very interesting tool and very nice. Let's move to the next tool. Our next tool is the art history brush tool. Our art history brush tool. So the art history brush tool paints stylized strokes with pixels from an earlier state of the image. The art history brush tool paints stylized strokes with pixels from an earlier state of the image. So with this, I can come here. Okay, the art history brush tool is already selected. I can come to the part called style, click on the drop down menu and select any style that I want. So assuming I want to choose dab, I can choose dab. You can also right click and play with the size of the brush and also the hardness as you want. So I can come left click, drag. Let me increase the size a bit. As you can see, it is creating some dabs for me. It is going to create the style, or it's going to paint the stylized strokes with the pixels from the earlier stage. So it's going to use the basic color of the image and use it to create that stylized strokes for me. So if I don't want this, assuming we want to change the style, we can go here and use another style. Assuming I want to use the tight curl long, I can come here, left click and drag over, and as you can see, pretty nice and very cool. Let's change. Assuming I want to use tight medium, left click, drag over like that. So basically that's the use of the art history brush tool. It paints stylized strokes with pixels from an earlier state of the image. So let's move to the next tool, the eraser tool. We are moving to the eraser tool. The eraser tool changes pixels to the background color or makes them transparent. The eraser tool changes pixels to the background color or makes them transparent. So I can left click, and as you can see, the eraser tool, it is changing the pixels to the background color, or it is making them transparent. As you can see, it is changing the pixels to transparent. Like that. So basically, that is the use of the eraser tool. It changes pixels to the background color or makes them transparent. Press Ctrl Z to undo. And then our next tool to talk about is the background eraser tool. The background eraser tool. The background eraser tool erases the pixels of a sampled color. It erases the pixels of a sampled color. So if I hold Alt, background eraser tool, I sampled, and I left click, as you can see, it is erasing. It is trying to detect the edges of the sampled color of the color that I sampled. But if you want to, if you eat into it too much, it will enter into this one, as you can see. So basically, that's the use of the background eraser tool. It erases the pixels of a sampled color. Ctrl Z to undo. And then the next tool on the list is the magic eraser tool. The magic eraser tool erases similarly colored areas with a single click. It erases similarly colored areas with a single click. So as you can see with this YouTube logo, the red colors here are similar. It is similarly colored. All this area are of a similar color. So with the help of the magic eraser tool, with a single click, it's going to erase all the similarly colored areas with just a single click. Just a single click is going to erase the similarly colored areas. So that's the use of the magic eraser tool. It's a very interesting tool. It's a very nice tool that is found in Adobe Photoshop. So we will end here in order not to make the tutorial so long and boring. And in our next tutorial, we are going to continue from the paint bucket tool right to the tools right here. Let me know in the comment section which of the tools so far is your best tool, the tool that you like most. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed, and hit on the notification bell in order to get notified of every video that we upload on this platform. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you and have a nice moment. Thank you.